Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. So yesterday we began talking about the quotient of powers property. We did an activity together that helped us discover that when we are dividing powers that have the same base, we can subtract their exponents. An example of that is written here. 4 to the 5th power divided by 4 squared equals 4 to the 5 minus 2 power equals 4 to the 3rd power. Okay, so all we're doing here is subtracting those exponents. It's very similar to the product of powers property. That is when we are multiplying powers with the same base. In that case, we add the exponents. This is the opposite. When you're dividing powers, you subtract the exponents. Algebraically, that can be written as a to the m power over a to the n power. And we wrote this rule yesterday in our notes, a to the m minus n. Let's go through a couple of examples together. So first, we have 2 to the 6th power divided by 2 to the 4th power. The base is 2. Start by writing the base and then subtracting the exponents. 6 minus 4. You subtract the exponent from the numerator. That comes first, and you're taking away the exponent from the denominator. 6 minus 4 is 2. We get 2 squared. The next one, we have negative 7 to the 9th power divided by negative 7 to the 3rd power, or negative 7 cubed. If it is in parentheses, make sure to keep the base in parentheses. We're subtracting the exponents. 9 minus 3. We get negative 7 to the 6th power. And finally, we have an example that has a variable as our base. We're going to do the exact same thing. Keep the base, h, and subtract the exponents. 7 minus 6. This becomes h to the 1st power. We know that anything to the 1st power is just itself, so it can just be written as h. Let's move on to simplifying an expression. So now we're going to begin combining some of these rules that we have learned about exponents. The instructions say to simplify 3 to the 4th power times 3 squared over 3 cubed. Write your answer as a power. So there's going to be a couple of steps here. We're going to need to use more than one property that we've learned about. So I'm just going to start by rewriting the problem. Okay, and I see here that I can use that quotient property that we learned about, but I need to do something before I can use that. I need to simplify what's in my numerator. Okay, so in my numerator, I have a product, 3 to the 4th power times 3 squared. So that's a product of powers, and those powers have the same base. They both have base 3. I know the rule says I can add their exponents. So this becomes 3, and the exponents will be 4 plus 2. So it's 3 to the 6th power over 3 cubed. And now I can go ahead and use that quotient of powers property. I can subtract the exponents. These have the same base. 6 minus 3 is 3. My answer is 3 cubed, or also called 3 to the 3rd power. Let's look at one more example of this where we're using some variables. Now our instructions say simplify a to the 10th power over a to the 6th power times a to the 7th power over a to the 4th power. Write your answer as a power. So again, I'm just going to start by rewriting this problem. Okay, and what I'm seeing right now are two different division problems, right? So I know that when I'm dividing powers that have the same base, I can subtract their exponents. I'm going to do that twice, right? A to the 10th divided by a to the 6th. We can simplify that by subtracting the exponents. 10 minus 6 is 4. I get a to the 4th power times, and now let's simplify this other division problem. We're going to subtract the exponents, so I keep the base a. 7 minus 4 is 3. And now we only have one more step we're going to go ahead and use that product of powers property. We're multiplying two powers that have the same base. So I know I can add the exponents. 4 plus 3 is 7. We get a to the 7th power. And finally, let's look at a real-life application problem where we could apply this. So it says the projected population of Tennessee in 2030 is about 5 times 5.9 to the 8th power. Predict the average number of people per square mile in 2030. So I see that word per. Per usually means division. It also indicates maybe a rate. Okay, so we have a model here that's going to help us solve this problem. So what we're solving for is the people per square mile. That's what I want to know. To find that out, I need to do the population in 2030. It told me the population is about this, 5 times 5.9 to the 8th power, divided by the land area. The land area is given to me here, 5.9 to the 6th power. Now, before I can solve this, I'm going to need to rewrite this in a different way. I want to be able to use that quotient of powers property. To do that, I'm going to rewrite this by separating that 5 out. So now it looks like this, 5 times 5.9 to the 8th power over 5.9 to the 6th power. You can see that by rewriting this, I'm now able to use that quotient of powers property. I have two powers with the same base. Those are the requirements to use our property. So I'm going to simplify this. I can subtract the exponents, and I get 5.9 squared. And then our last step would just be to evaluate using order of operations. So we start by evaluating the exponent, 5.9 squared, and you can use a calculator for this. You're going to get 34.81. And then we can multiply. So go ahead and take out your calculators. We do 34.81 times 5. And you should get 174.05. So now we have our answer. The people per square mile is approximately 174 people. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.